You know, have you ever had that feeling that there's got to be more to your faith than what you're experiencing right now? That there's this incredible power and a huge purpose just waiting to be unlocked? Well, today, we're going right back to the original plan. We're going to unlock the amazing authority God has already placed inside every single one of us.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at your divine blueprint. Then, we'll uncover your core mission. After that, we're going to pinpoint the one enemy that's been holding you back, talk about the radical choice you have to make, and finally, really dig into what it means to reign in your God-given authority.
All right, let's start at the very beginning with your divine blueprint. See, this isn't about trying to become someone new. Not at all. It's about unlocking the power and the potential you already have right now and realizing who God made you to be from the very start.
Just let the weight of that sink in for a minute. This isn't just some motivational poster quote. This is a direct promise from Jesus, right out of the book of John, chapter 14, verse 12. The very same power that healed the sick, that cast out demons, it isn't just available to us. No, we've been commissioned to do even greater things.
And that leads us to a really critical idea. This Christian life, it's not a passive spectator sport. Ephesians chapter 6 paints a clear picture. We're in a spiritual war. But here's the amazing part. You were not sent into this battle empty-handed. Not even close. You are fully, completely equipped for total victory.
I want you to think about it like this. Your spiritual toolkit is already packed and ready to go. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 3 tells us, you've been blessed with all spiritual blessings. Every single gift is available to you. The exact same power that raised Christ from the dead literally lives inside of you. Ephesians 6 says you have spiritual weapons ready for deployment. You are absolutely loaded with everything you need for the mission.
Okay, so if we're this fully equipped, if we have this incredible divine toolkit, it kind of begs the question, right? What is our core mission? What's our primary purpose here on this earth? You know, if you've ever found yourself wondering what your specific ministry is supposed to be, you need to hear this. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 18 gives us the one mission that applies to every single believer, no exceptions. It's the ministry of reconciliation. That's our main job description.
But what does reconciliation actually mean in plain terms? It's all about restoring what was broken. It's about ending hostility, it's about rebuilding friendship, and it's about accepting the outstretched hand of God. At its heart, it's about the great exchange. Christ took our place. So what's our mission? It's to take that same offer of a restored relationship to a world that is just desperate for it.
So, the big question becomes, if we have the power and we know the mission, what's stopping us, right? Why aren't we seeing this massive breakthrough all the time? Well, it turns out there's one core obstacle that's holding us back.
Let's just be honest for a second. If the mission is so clear and the power is so present, why does it so often feel like we're just spinning our wheels? The truth is, the biggest obstacle, it's not out there somewhere, it's in here. It's the battle for the throne of our own hearts.
And this right here, this is the heart of the conflict. When the self, that big old I, is sitting on the throne, our lives are just marked by self-interest, envy, conflict, all the stuff the book of James warns about in chapters 3 and 4. But when we let Christ take the throne, oh, everything changes. Our lives shift to serving God, to serving others, all driven by a totally pure motivation.
The answer to winning this internal war, it's found right here in Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. It's this profound, life-changing realization that our old self has been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but it's Christ who lives in me. That right there is the key to victory.
So, we've identified the problem. It's the self on the throne. Now let's talk about the radical choice that's required to deal with this obstacle, so we can finally reclaim the authority we were actually created to walk in. Look, this isn't about just trying a little harder or making some small adjustments. To really root out that self-centered I requires a radical choice. It's a conscious, deliberate decision to die to your old way of living. Romans chapter 6, verse 10 says that Jesus now lives for God, and that is the exact pattern we're called to follow. The good news is, Jesus didn't just leave us guessing how to do this. In Matthew chapter 7, he gave us the blueprint for building a life that can stand up against any storm. And it's a simple 3-step process. Step 1, you come to him. Step 2, you hear what he says. And step 3, this is the one we so often miss, you do what you have heard. Hearing is just the beginning. Doing it is what builds the foundation. Now let's be real. This path isn't the easy one. It's not some quick fix. It's going to demand your time and your energy. It's going to take practice, perseverance, and a whole lot of discipline. And yes, sometimes it even means being willing to lose something in this world to gain what is eternal. And now we get to the payoff, the result. When you make that radical choice, when you actually build your life on His Word, you start stepping into the incredible role you were always designed for, reigning in your God-given authority.
So what is this authority, really? It's not just a title, it's delegated power in action. It is the right to speak and see things change. Think of yourself like a spiritual police officer on patrol. When you see spiritual injustice, when you see someone in bondage, you have been given the authority, the badge, to step in, stop it, and set them free. This is really the ultimate goal of our journey. Romans chapter 8, verse 29 says we were destined to be conformed to the image of Jesus. So when you start living from your true position of authority in Him, your mind gets renewed, you literally begin to think like Him, act like Him, and love like Him.
And this is where it all comes together. We have heard the Word, we've studied it, but the book of James gives us a stark reminder. Faith without action is dead. It is time for us to make that crucial shift from being people who just hear the Word to people who actively do the Word. So I'm going to leave you with this. Take a look around at your life, your community, your world. You have been given the power and you have been given the mission. The question is no longer if you have authority. The question is, how are you going to use it? What injustice will you correct? What captive will you set free? The world is waiting for you to act.